Yo, what's good, Cowboys family? It's your boy Hoodie KUSH here. With the basement boys. We just here to, you know, talk about the state of the Cowboys, man. I see everybody up in arms. Everybody's speculating on this and speculating on that. We ain't gonna jump off the bridge. I mean, I know it's cliche, it's just preseason. But it's true. It's just preseason. I'm saying everybody's looking at Mozzie Smith and his shortcomings. You know what I'm saying, but no one's really taken into account what the details of his job actually is as a DT, as a one tech. You know what I'm saying, there's two different types of DTs. You got your one tech and your three tech. Your three tech is more your pass rush guy, more attacking style, more get in the backfield, put pressure on the quarterback. That's your DT. You know what I'm saying? Then you have your one tech. You know what I'm saying? Your one tech is your big trash can full of dirt. That big guy that just, the immovable object. You know what I'm saying? And granted, we haven't seen the immovable part from Mozzie, but we have seen Mozzie eat up blocks, eat up bodies, eat up double teams. You know what I'm saying? If you take a look at what Jay thwe did over this past weekend against the Ravens, there was at one point I saw this dude getting bounced around but eating up three different blockers. We had a stop on that play. We had a short gain on that play. That's the job of a one tech. Your one tech is supposed to eat up blocks, you know what I'm saying, and leave the linebackers clean so linebackers and safeties can fill. You know what I'm saying? I see a lot of discord about Mozzie. Mozzie Smith was at a disadvantage because he was brought in under Dan Quinn. And Dan Quinn's defense is more like Eberflus's, attacking style. Everybody should be getting to the quarterback, pass rush. But Mozzie wasn't that coming out of college. Mozzie was your trash can full of dirt. And even then, as a three tech, as a one tech, as a one tech, you're not just going to come in the league and just start making hay immediately. I mean, you're a rookie. There's a learning curve. There's a learning curve with every position. You know what I'm saying? We even saw it with CD Lamb as a wide receiver. You know what I'm saying? He had drop issues. But in 2 short years, he's your number one. He's your bona fide number one. He's a very good number one. Probably top 3 in the league, and not 3. 1, maybe 2. You got Jamar Chase, and then there's CD Lamb. These guys are in like a league of their own. I mean, don't get me wrong. You have your who's, the Jay Jettas, the Tyreek Hills, Devontae Adams, Puka Nakuas, you know what I'm saying, A.J. Browns, Smitties. You know what I'm saying? You got your who's, but those guys can't touch what the production that CD and Jamar Chase and, Jay Jettas has had throughout their careers here. So, we can't just, looking at preseason, we can't just sit back and be all doom and gloom, because it's not all doom and gloom. The point of preseason, I've said this before in several different live feeds that I've done. The point of preseason is to evaluate the new coming players, the new free agents. You're evaluating these guys. You're evaluating these guys to see if any of these dudes in their respective positions are able to elevate the room that they're in, one, and the team as a whole. You know what I'm saying? If you're expecting these guys to walk in and be world beaters from day one, you're kidding yourself. It doesn't happen like that. It doesn't happen. You're not. There's very few Derrick Henrys. You know what I'm saying? Dak Prescott, his rookie year, he came in making noise. Mainly because most people He was a 4th-round pick, and most people counted him out from the beginning. You had your Jamil Shields or whatever his name is. You know, you had those guys. You had your Kellen Moores. You had your Tony Romos, and then Dak. You know what I'm saying? Jamil Showers didn't work out. He ended up getting injured. Dak stepped in and played lights out, and he's been our quarterback ever since. He's been our QB1 ever since. Well deserved. You know what I'm saying? So if you're looking for everybody to be the Deron Blands of the world, you're kidding yourself. You know what I'm saying? Deron Bland came in as a 5th-round pick with 0 expectation. You know what I'm saying? And he made hay. But when you look at your 1st-round picks, such as CeeDee Lamb, Mozzie Smith, you expect them to play at a 1st-round pick level, right? Micah did that. Micah's an anomaly. Micah's a unicorn. You know what I'm saying? CD at the position that he was in, he wasn't CD. He was just Sedarian his first 2 years. CD made his name year 3. CD made his name as soon as Amari Cooper left the building. You know what I'm saying? That's when CD made his name. You know what I'm saying? Mozzie Smith has yet to make his name. We can't fault him for it. I mean, he understands that he has to get better. He knows he has to get better. I know he has to get better. Everyone knows he has to get better. You know what I'm saying? So when us as the Cowboys fans, you know, put these unrealistic expectations on these players, we have to temper that. We have to temper that, because it's like, even though he's having his issues, it's not all bad. He's actually doing his job. You know what I'm saying? We look at, we've been down on Andrew Booth since last season, since Malik Neighbors cooked him first play of the game. You know what I'm saying? We were down on him. This preseason, he gave up what? He gave up a nice pass. Granted, it was tight defense. You know what I'm saying? He was there. The issue was the pass was better. You know what I'm saying? I can't fault the guy for being there and the pass is better. I can't. And then he turns around and gets a pick 6. You know what I'm saying? In the Ravens game. So it's not all bad when you're evaluating these dudes. Sometimes it's just not their day. Look at Damone Clark. Damone Clark, week 1 against the Rams, did not look good at all. He did not look good at all. He really didn't. He was missing his fits. He barely made a play. He was washed out of a lot of plays playing the Rams. But then if you turn to last weekend, this past weekend, Damone Clark, you were saying his name every 10 seconds. Oh, wow, look at Damone Clark. He's making a play again. He's got his hat in there. He's making a play. Damone Clark is everywhere, just like just like Maris Leofau was the week before. And this week, of course, Zion Childress. Undrafted, UDFA. All right. You take Zion Childress, for example. We all been screaming, oh man, we need corners. We need corners. We need somebody who's going to do this and do that. And then at the same time, we've been screaming, man, we can't stop the run. It seems like we still can't stop the run. Well, we got a guy in Zion Childress who's trying to stake his claim as a nickel cornerback. Okay. Not only doing that, not only playing in coverage, which sometimes it gets lost. It's expected. You're a rookie. You're a UDFA. You know what I'm saying? So the expectations on you aren't very high. But then when we see you getting in run fits and making plays, that's when our radar starts beeping like, hey, this is a guy. This is a guy. You know what I'm saying? We lost J. Lou. J. Lou left. We offered him money, but it wasn't to his liking, which I understand. It's only but so long you can take a team-friendly deal. You know what I'm saying? It's only but so long until you want to get your just due. And he deserved it. He went to Jacksonville. He's making a lot more money than he would have been playing here, you know. And now we're looking towards the future. And Zion Childress, the way that he's been playing in preseason, I'm not saying that's going to translate into the regular season. I am not saying that. But what I am saying is it at least gives you an idea of what he can do. It at least gives you an idea of him being a chess piece. You know what I'm saying? It gives you an idea. Like a lot of people are down on Israel Mukuamu. That's one I'll never understand. Israel Mukuamu has showed that he can play the position. Israel Mukuamu has showed that he deserves to be on this team. I say give the man his just due. Let him go. You know what I'm saying? Let him go. Take the chains off. Let him rock. Because I mean, he had an interception in the preseason. You know what I'm saying? Granted, all right, fine. It was against 2s and 3s. Stetson Bennett. All right, fine. You can say all that. You know what I'm saying? Preseason doesn't matter. But if we're playing a vanilla style defense and a vanilla style offense, and the dogs are showing up even in a vanilla style defense and a vanilla style offense, that should bode well for them making the team and making their hay in the regular season. You know what I'm saying? Am I saying that we're going to go 17 and 0? Well, I'm going to say we're going to go 17 and 0 until we're not 17 and 0. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? Me personally. So these guys, when we're evaluating these guys, we're not evaluating the team success in preseason. What we're evaluating is the individual player. So that way they can help with team success when it actually counts. Right now, preseason don't count. The only thing preseason counts for is the individual bodies, guys trying to make a team. Now, keep this in perspective, right? We got guys who aren't showing up on film. We got guys who are showing up on film, but some of the guys in their position that are better may have a better chance of making this team before they do. So the point of preseason for these guys that we're evaluating is not just us, the Cowboys, that are evaluating these players. And it's not just the Cincinnati Bengals who are evaluating their guys, and the Eagles evaluating their guys, and the Jacksonville Jaguars, and so on and so forth. Everyone, all 32 teams are evaluating every player from every team during the preseason because we all understand that maybe our running back isn't on this team. Maybe our slot receiver or our slot corner isn't on this team. Maybe our DT isn't on this team. They do the full NFL roster cuts next Tuesday. That's not, oh, well, Friday, this team's going to make their cuts, and then Saturday, that team. No. Everybody makes their cuts on Tuesday. So come Tuesday, there's going to be a lot of bodies out there that we have to choose from, whether it be our own guys or another team's guys that they drafted. I'm of the mindset that fits are like team fits mean everything. They could have Detroit could have gotten a guy out of the draft and he'd be really, really good, right? But he just doesn't fit what they do. He might fit what we do. He might fit what the Giants do. He might fit what Washington does. He might fit what Carolina does well. You know what I'm saying? Like, so instead of us being so ho-hum and down and out thinking that we're going to have a shit season, you know what I'm saying? Keep in mind, there's I believe the number was 1,543 dudes that were going to be out there on the street come next Tuesday. So we have, say, 600 players to choose from. You know what I'm saying? Because, of course, not everybody's going to make a team. Some of these dudes are going to go to the UFL, USFL, the XFL, wherever. You know what I mean? They might just go back to doing their regular thing, going back to school or doing something like that. So there's no guarantee that all these guys that we may be looking at, say, Quinshon Judkins, let's just say for sake of an argument, you know what I'm saying, Quinshon Judkins. I understand that we really had high hopes on grabbing him, but another team grabbed him. What if he doesn't fit their scheme? We want a running back. We can easily wait until roster cuts to go get our running back. We're having issues with Joe Milton. We want to see what he's like. Well, 3 or 4 teams have a surplus of quarterbacks. A surplus. So not everybody is going to make the team. You know what I'm saying? Like, not everybody is going to make their respective teams. So you have an opportunity come Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, leading up to September 4th, to get your roster in order. It's not all doom and gloom. It's not. It's not all doom and gloom. Sometimes the process may not be exactly how you want it, but it's still the process. It's still the process. Am I saying that if we sit and wait and watch the process that we're going to be world beaters going into the regular season? No, not at all. Because there's probably teams a lot better than us. Probably those same good teams that were really good last year may not be good at all this year. They may not be good at all. As boisterous as the Minnesota Vikings roster is, Jay Jettis, Jordan Addison, and then their defense is stacked, you know what I'm saying, with the Dre Greenlaws of the world, they got those guys. But who's to say that they're going to mesh well? Who's to say that it's going to work? You know what I'm saying? No one knows. We don't know until the season starts. Will our game plan be better than yours? And that's another thing that's a pretty good segue. That's another thing I wanted to jump into. Shotty. Coach Shotty. A lot of people are starting to turn their backs now. A lot of people are questioning. There's a reason why I'm even keeled with it all. There's a very good reason why I'm even keeled with it all. Because I understand where he's coming from. You're a rookie head coach. You have probably one of the best coaching staffs on paper. You know what I'm saying? If you look at each individual coach and look at where they came from, how they made their hay, how they got to where they are, a lot of these dudes were highly touted. A lot of these dudes were hot commodities. No, they're not the Ben Johnsons. But who's to say Ben Johnson's going to have a great year? Who's to say that? Just because he's Ben Johnson? Come on. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. Bruce Arians was a good coach. He was a very good coach. We're not even going to do Bruce Arians. We're going to do Andy Reid. Andy Reid in Philadelphia was a very good coach, one of the winningest coaches in Philadelphia history, okay? Couldn't win a Super Bowl to save his life. Went to one, but he couldn't win a Super Bowl to save his life in Philadelphia. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was the football guys just not smiling on them, but he couldn't win a Super Bowl in Philadelphia. He goes to Kansas City and wins 3. Sometimes, just sometimes, a little change of scenery can make all the difference. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes something fresh, something new, can make all the difference. And I think, me personally, this is just my guess, I'm surmising, that I think this is a very good opportunity for Schottenheimer. This is a very good opportunity. This is the only time in his career as a head coach that he's able to use the elements of surprise to his advantage. This is the only time. So before we get all down and doom and gloom about the preseason and our woes and Joe Milton not showing what he can be and the running backs not being as sharp as we want, let's keep in mind, he did tell us he's not showing you nothing. I'm gonna keep it a stack. He ain't showing you shit. He ain't showing you shit as the fans, and he ain't showing the Eagles shit because we played them first. We played them the first game of the season. He's not showing Vic Fangio not a damn thing. He's not showing Brian Daboll not a damn thing. He's not going to show Ben Johnson a damn thing. He's not going to show this coach and that coach. No, there's no chance you can study me unless you want to go all the way back in the archives to 2018 and 2007 and 2008 with the Jets, unless you want to do all that. And here's the caveat to that. Nobody says he has to be 2007 Schottenheimer. Nobody says he has to be 2018 Schottenheimer. This is 2025. I like to think that the fact that he's been in the league for as long as he has, you know what I'm saying? The fact that he's been here for as long as he has, you can't tell me that there is some level of evolution. I'm sure like that he's seen more than enough football. His father is a legendary head coach. You know what I'm saying? So he's gotten to see different offenses being played, different defenses being played, sometimes the same defenses being played. You know what I'm saying? From opposing teams. And he's learned a way. There's no way he could become a successful OC and not be able to evolve. That's impossible. So as a head coach, I think now it's like we're literally watching a caterpillar being cocooned. You know what I'm saying? And it's about to bust out of the cocoon as a butterfly. We're literally about to see this. Okay. It's no guarantee that it's going to work out well. There is no guarantee, but it's no guarantee it's going to be a bust either. Absolutely no guarantee. You know what I'm saying? So we can't sit here as fans and be like, now I know most of you in Cowboys Nation probably weren't high on the hire. A lot of people weren't high on the hire. Oh man, Schottenheimer, he was already here. Why don't we just go get somebody new? Why couldn't we go get the Ben Johnsons, the Aaron Glens? You know what I'm saying? Why couldn't we go get the college coach who was one of the best college coaches? Why can't we go and get this one and that name and this name? Well, here's the difference, right? When we got Mike McCarthy was a successful head coach. He won a Super Bowl. I don't care how long it's been. If you won a Super Bowl, you are a successful head coach. You had success in this league. Okay? You had success. The problem was we had a successful head coach and not a successful coaching staff. I mean, look at Lunda Wells. Lunda Wells, I'm glad we kept him. He does a great job with our tight ends. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, Jeff Blasco, who the hell was that? He was a tight ends coach at one point, and then he came here and became a running backs coach. What? You're a running backs coach? Weren't you a tight end? You don't know anything about running backs. You don't know anything about it. And then you have Brian Schottenheimer as your OC, but he can't call the plays. He can't call the plays because you wanted to do it your way with all your buddies. You know what I'm saying? The thing with Brian Schottenheimer was he wasn't his buddy. He never worked with him. Never worked with him prior to coming to Dallas. Let me tell you this is the reason why Mike McCarthy got Brian Schottenheimer. I'll say it again. Schottenheimer. It was proven and said that Brian Schottenheimer within the war room, when it came to getting the game plan together and having meetings, there was a lot of differences in opinion. Maybe we should do this, but I'm not the head coach. I don't call the plays. I can't really say nothing. Where now it's different. I am the head coach. I am calling the plays. It's going to be my way. But I'm not giving anything away for free. I'm not going to give anything away for free, and I'm fine with that. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm extremely happy that we're not doing well in the preseason, because I would love to see a win. I would love to see this team go out and get a win, especially these young guys, because they worked hard to get here. You know what I'm saying? They worked hard to get here, and they're working equally as hard to remain here, whether it be with the Cowboys or another team. Here meaning the NFL. You know what I'm saying? We want that. We want success for these guys. And right now, success for these guys is making the team. Success for these guys is putting great film out there so the 31 other teams can notice them. So maybe they have a spot on their team. For some of these guys, success is just making a practice squad. For some of these guys. You know what I'm saying? Not all of them. If you ask me, I think gthe has got a spot on this team. You ask me, I think Zion Childress has a spot on this team. Shamar James, spot on the team. I think he has a spot. Johnny Cornelius, I think he has a spot on this team. I think he does. Nathan Thomas, spot on this team. We already know Tyler Guyton's not going anywhere. And that's another story, because a lot of people have given up on Tyler Guyton after 1 year. That's not fair. You're expecting this guy, again, the places you are picked dictates your expectation for the fans. for the fans. We could say, oh, well, I'm pretty sure the front office expected. No, I think they get it. I was going to take X amount of time for this guy to get going to become a better player. It's going to take X amount of time. You know what I'm saying? Now, did the front office help these guys? The Tyler Guytons and the Mozzie Smiths? No, I don't think they did. I mean, if you ask me, I think Tyler Guyton deserved to have Tyron Smith to learn behind. If you ask me, I think Mozzie Smith deserved to have Jonathan Hankins to learn behind. If you ask me, you know what I'm saying? But you're not asking me. You're watching the games just like I'm watching the games. You're on next watching the padded practices like I'm watching the padded practices. You know what I'm saying? So you can formulate your own view. You can formulate your own opinion. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling you mine. I'm no expert. I am no football savant. I am no position expert. I don't do film. I just tell you how I feel. That's it. Would I like to dive into that stuff? Yeah, I would. Because maybe it will help me broaden my football knowledge. You know what I'm saying? But as of right now, today, only thing I can do is tell you what I see. And what I see is, I see probably a handful, maybe a handful and a half of guys who are making their hay, who deserve a spot on this team. Jonathan Mingo getting injured. I'll say this. George Pickens coming here shook up the wide receiver room. All right. So everybody who was up here, aside from CD, moved down a notch or two. Okay. Jonathan Mingo goes out there. He's having big games in the preseason. Flournoy's having good games in the preseason. Even Jonathan Brooks is having good games. Trayshawn Holden, a UDFA, is having good games in the preseason, or at least good moments. You know what I'm saying? Showing that, hey, they can play at this level. You know? Of course, we have our quarterback woes with our backup, you know what I'm saying, so to speak. But they're showing you things that you didn't get to see last season or any season beforehand. Want me to tell you what I see? I see dudes getting open. I see dudes literally getting open. Dak, for the past 3, maybe 4 years, has led the league in tight window completions. You don't believe me? Look it up. Led the league in tight window completions. That says one thing to me. That says my receivers were not getting open. There was no separation. It was literally CD and a bag of chips that we had, okay? Because CD, 2023 went for 1,700 yards. Last season, banged up shoulder, still dogging it out, 1,100 yards. You know what I'm saying? He's had almost 1,000 yards in every season he's been here. You know what I'm saying? And that was with no separation. But now if you look at it, in the preseason, even in the preseason beforehand, we didn't see this from our guys. They were still having issues getting open against 2s and 3s. Now, even with a vanilla style offense, Ryan Flournoy is making hay, getting wide open. Unfortunately, the ball's being darted over his head. You know what I'm saying? Jonathan Mingo showing us exactly why we used a 4th-round pick on him, and yet our quarterback still can't get him the ball. Yeah, he had one good pass. You know what I'm saying? This past weekend, 1 for 39. You know what I'm saying? But that came at a cost. He's injured now. You know what I'm saying? And now with Mingo getting injured, that further shakes up your wide receiver room. Certain people may be safe when they weren't before this game. You know, we know who it is. Jalen Brooks might be safe. Jalen Tolbert might be safe. Trayshawn Holden, he may even be safe because he's a UDFA. He doesn't have any NFL experience under his belt. You know what I'm saying? So before Mingo went down, the most we can say is practice squad guy. You know what I'm saying? Before Mingo went down, we could say Tolbert might be gone. Brooks might be gone. You know what I'm saying? We might just run with 5 wide receivers. CD, George Pickens, Jonathan Mingo, Kavontae Turpin, and Ryan Flournoy. You know what I'm saying? But now that Mingo's injured, somebody might be safe. We don't know who that is. We don't know if we're going to run with 5 wide receivers or 6 wide receivers. We don't know. I mean, if you go listen to Crown Global Media, Voch Lombardi and Brian Broaddus, they'll lay it out for you. They'll lay it out for you. If you go watch The Break or Girls Talk, Boys Talk, or Talking Cowboys, they'll lay it out for you. They'll give you their opinion. They'll give it to you how they see it. You know what I'm saying? Two people have the same opinion. And if they do, they're on to something. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to be all down in the dumps because we lost a couple of preseason games. It's an evaluation period. It's an evaluation period. Let's evaluate these guys, see who has those traits that we need to elevate our team. That's the whole point of it. It's not, let's go out there and blow these boys out, even with a vanilla style offense, even though they have the same thoughts in mind. They may be out there with a game plan, in which I think they were. The Ravens probably were out there with a game plan, and the Rams were out there with a game plan. And you saw it. You saw it in the combo blocks they were putting together. It wasn't something that they just threw together like, yeah, go out there and do this and do that. No, that was a game plan. They were prepared. Us, we were prepared to play vanilla football. We were prepared to go out there and play backyard football. Line it up. Let's see what y'all got. Because right now we are evaluating the individual. We're not evaluating the team. We're evaluating the individual. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're doing. There's a reason why Joe Milton continues to get that start in the preseason. We need to see what he has. Can he calm it down? Can he learn how to use touch? Can he go out there not looking like a deer in headlights and start fast? Can he do that? Because if he can't, then he'll be the emergency quarterback. See, that's another thing, my Cowboys constituents, my fellow fans. It's another thing, right? The minute we got Joe Milton, everybody listened to, Ninja Turtle Shady McCoy. Dak better get a realtor. Because Joe Milton's got talent. Joe Milton's got a big arm. I've seen Joe Milton play good in the last game of the season against 2s and 3s. But yet, last season in a preseason game, he didn't look very good. He looked sort of indicative to what he looks like right now. You know what I'm saying? All over the place, jittery, not understanding that not every pass has to be a bullet. Not every pass needs you to go out there and sling it like you're Brett Favre. You don't need to do that. You don't need to. This is a time where not only are we evaluating, this is a time for you to actually learn a few things. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, I know that I have a big arm, but can I separate myself by still having this big arm while also being accurate, using touch, being able to be cerebral? That's what makes cerebral quarterbacks so dangerous. You can have the big arm all you want, but if you can't hit a dude across the middle without throwing it behind him, almost causing an interception, you're not going to be very good. The team's not going to be very successful. So again, we're evaluating the individual. Okay. Sam Williams. Sam Williams, to me, is not looking like Slam Williams. Sam Williams, to me, is just looking like a guy. You know what I'm saying? Now, will that be him come week 1? Who knows? We don't know. You know what I'm saying? He is just coming off of an injury. You know what I'm saying? Last season, he tore his ACL, so he's just coming off of his ACL, And do I expect him to go out there and light people up and suplex people? No, I don't. He's a year off of his injury. You know what I'm saying? Terrence Steele didn't look like Terrence Steele after he came off of his injury, but he's been the most consistent. He's been the most consistent lineman that we've had in the past 3 years. Hasn't missed a game. He may not have been as great as we wanted, but he hasn't missed a game. That has to say something. You know what I'm saying? If you're able to at least be consistent enough to continue to be in the game, every game, all year long, it's got to say something. That's a lot of wear and tear on your body. But yet, coming off of an injury, he's played in a lot of games. A lot of fucking games. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, again, let's not be down here right now. Let's bring it up. Let's still get excited. You know what I'm saying? Football is here, finally. It's here. I've been waiting a long time. I don't give a damn about what moves were made or weren't made. I don't give a damn about that because right now it's not about what moves we didn't make. It's about who we have in this building right now. And again, next Tuesday is the NFL roster cuts. Everyone, all 32 teams are cutting players next week. All 32 teams. So some of those players that we may have wanted who might get cut because that's just not the fit for them, we can go ahead and make a claim for them. You know what I'm saying? All those players who we may have wanted that are just cut casualties, cap casualties, you know what I'm saying? Because the dudes that they have are playing at a better level than them. Or they're younger so they can get more out of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, who's to say we can't get DJ Reader? Who's to say we can't? It's no guarantee. We don't know what Detroit, pardon me. We don't know what Detroit has in store. You know what I'm saying? Brian brought up a guy off the Ravens. They have a surplus of DTs. They have a surplus. They don't have one or two. They have like 3 or 4. They have a surplus of DTs. Not every DT is going to make that team. Cleveland, a surplus of quarterbacks. We're sitting here complaining about Joe Milton and his woes. We feel like we've been bamboozled because we thought because he has a big arm and he's athletic that he would be a lot more polished than what he is. No, he's a young quarterback. This is year 2 for him. He's only played in 2 NFL games, 1 preseason and 1 in the regular season. That didn't really matter. Okay? Then on top of that, he was playing in New England. You know? It's not like they have a world beater roster. They don't. At least to our standards. At least to what we have over here. You know what I'm saying? We got arguably the best wide receiver duo in the league. All we really need to put it together is a running back. Now let's talk about running back. You got Jadon Blue, who we haven't seen, so we'll probably see him Friday. I believe, we got Atlanta on Friday. You know what I'm saying? Last preseason game, these guys can put it all out there, you know what I'm saying, go for broke, you know, and try to push to make this team. So we'll be seeing Jadon Blue Friday. I don't know if we'll see Javonte Williams, but I would like to see more of Malik Davis. I would love to see more of Malik Davis. If you ask me, Miles Sanders didn't do himself any favors. He did not do himself any favors. I like Miles Sanders. I'm a Penn State guy, okay? So, like, I know the pedigree. I know where they come from. You know what I'm saying? Penn State guy. He didn't do himself any favors. That game Saturday, granted, he's coming off of an injury. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't played much football. I don't think he practiced that much, but he had a few days of practice. You know what I'm saying? For me, no excuse. I heard somebody saying, I was in someone else's live, and I heard somebody say, well, the offensive line needs to block better. The offensive line blocked very well. The problem is he didn't hit the lanes the way he was supposed to. His biggest run was for 7 yards, and that was because he chose the right path to go behind Tyler Booker. That's why. Other than that, he didn't do very well because he wasn't picking his lanes. That one run in the beginning of the game where he bobbled the handoff and lost like 5 yards, all he had to do was just turn it up the field. As soon as he gathered that ball, turn it up the field. Move on move, turn it up the field. The lane was there. You're not being decisive. Your vision is off. Offensive line needs to block better, but Phil Maffa the week before had 11 carries for 40-some-odd yards. In that same game, Malik Davis had 7 carries for 63 yards. That's 9 yards a carry. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about giving up how we give up on the run. But if you look at it in the first half of both of these games, we bottled up the run pretty damn good because our linebackers understood the job of the DT and the DT understood his own job. Eat up a double team, open it up for them, keep your linebackers clean, linebackers fill. Hence why I said we've been singing high praises of one Mr. Damone Clark. We already know what Maris Leofau can give us. We've seen that last year. He has a nose for the ball. He's high motor. He's high motor. You know what I'm saying? And he's very, very smart, very intelligent. He's a very intelligent linebacker. That's the type of guys you want. I want to see that consistency with Damone Clark. Shamar James, same thing. High motor, high intensity, very, very smart. You know what I'm saying? He understands leverage. gthe. Let's talk about gthe. gthe is a 7th-round pick. I said it like I'm high on him. I've been high on him since I saw him coming out of UCLA. He is, unfortunately for Mozzie, gthe is more NFL ready at his stage than Mozzie was at Jay's stage, at the rookie stage. That's just to me. That's my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I think gthe was more NFL ready, and he's showing it. He's learning quickly. He's learning on the fly. First game, he was getting turned. Granted, he was still holding up blocks. So he was getting turned, washed out of a play, but you also saw linebackers doing their job as well. You know what I'm saying? Until we had other guys in, and they weren't doing so well. You know what I'm saying? This past game, gthe anchor. He dropped his ass and he anchored. You know what I'm saying? Again, I saw him take on three. We bottled up the run pretty good. Now, we still got ran on. Yes. I'll tell you where. On the edges. We're still not setting the edges. But that's where Zion Childress comes in. Zion Childress can set the edge. James Houston can set the edge. That guy, he's been coming in, he's been flying like a missile. I wouldn't want to leave him out, you know what I'm saying? Because, again, high motor guy, you know what I'm saying? He understands leverage, and he's just got a whole can of whoop ass. You know what I'm saying? He pocketed the left tackle. You know what I'm saying? Like literally pocketed the left tackle. You know what I'm saying? So when you stop worrying about preseason team and you start looking at preseason individual, you'll notice these things. You'll notice their traits. You'll notice where we may have a drop off in coverage. You'll notice where we may have an uptick in linebacker play, an uptick in safety play, an uptick on edge play. You know what I'm saying? You might, even though the running backs this past game weren't very successful, you can look at the offensive line. In 2 games, they only gave up 2 sacks. 2 sacks. Our pass rush isn't getting a home. Maybe it's because we're running something vanilla and basic, but offensive line-wise, we've only given up 2 sacks, where last night we saw Joe Burrow running for his life. You know what I'm saying? A lot of quarterbacks don't have the luxury to sit back there for 4, 5 seconds. You know what I'm saying? Where we've seen Joe Milton sitting back there for 4 or 5 seconds, holding on to the ball too long. You know what I'm saying? Like your QB clock has to be like this. You have to be quick. You have to, especially in the NFL, because not every team is the same, but not every team may be the same, but this is a copycat league. Oh, we know that they have an issue on their left side where the left tackle is. Let's attack that. And then once they see that it's been exposed, once other teams have seen that it's been exposed, and you got that same team and you got another team next week, that's the film that they're going to be watching. Oh, okay, they're soft on the left side. Let's go get them. Oh, they can't run the ball. We don't even got to load the box. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Everybody doing their job will make this team better. But first, let's get a full evaluation on these guys. Let's not live in the world where we desperately want to win, even if it's preseason. Like, I had to do that work. He's a Minnesota fan. He's like, oh man, y'all got toasted by the Reds. I was like, bro, it's preseason. You're really worried about preseason? You didn't even play your starters. I'm not gonna risk putting those guys in danger. I need to evaluate these dudes we just brought in. I already know what I can get from Dak. I already know what I can get from CD, George Pickens, even though we might see George Pickens on Friday. But I know what I can get from those guys. You know what I'm saying? I know for a fact what I can get out of those guys. They've been here this long. We know that they can do the job. It's the other guys, the ancillary pieces. You know what I'm saying? The number 3 receiver. We don't even know who that is yet. A lot of people were saying that Jalen Tolbert was going to be the number 3. Nope, I don't think so. I don't think Jalen Tolbert will be the number 3 receiver. Even now, with Mingo being out, I really don't see it. I really don't see it. Ryan Flanoy has made a very, very good argument. He's made it tough for coaches to move off of him. Jalen Tolbert didn't. The only thing that's going to keep Jalen Tolbert here is the fact that he has a sponsor in a room in Shoddy. A sponsor. Trayshawn Holden might get a spot on this team because he has a sponsor in the room in Junior Adams. You know what I'm saying? Flournoy was a 6th-round draft pick. Is that the best of the best? No. But in my personal opinion, I don't think it is about where you're drafted. I don't think it is. Isaiah Pacheco was a 7th-round running back, 2-time Super Bowl winner. Zach Baun, I don't even think Zach Baun was a 1st, 2nd, or 3rd-round pick. You know what I'm saying? But now he's an all-pro linebacker, all-pro Super Bowl winning linebacker. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter where you're picked at. What's your pedigree? Do you got that dog in you? Are you willing to go out there and literally lay it all out there? You know what I'm saying? Those are the type of dudes I want. I want my Dallas Cowboys to be all about shiesty season. For me, this is shiesty season. When we get into the regular season, that's when the black shiesties go on and you go out there and you show them how much of a dog you are. It's shiesty season. You know what I'm saying? I want my team to have the nastiest attitude. I want to be feared. I want when dudes come to Dallas or Dallas goes to them, like, oh shit, we got the Dallas Cowboys this week. You saw what they did last week. They was out there acting a fool. I'm not in the mood for that. We got to face that. I want to be feared. Let's try to. I want defensive coordinators and offensive coordinators to lose sleep. I want them shit bricks. That's what I want. You know how hard it is for teams to actually game plan for Dak Prescott in the passing game? It is extremely hard. Here's how hard it is. I'm about to tell you. Here's how hard it is. Shit, they got CD Lamb. Oh, it's easy. We could just bracket him. He ain't going to go nowhere else. And CD still cooks you. Like, it's extremely hard to game plan for the Dallas Cowboys. It's extremely hard to game plan for Dak Prescott. It's extremely hard to game plan for CD Lamb. But when it comes to the defense over the past decade or two, it's very easy to game plan for that, even when Micah's on the floor. Even when Mike is on the floor. Run the ball. Run the ball on the edges. Chip him, run the ball on the edges. Wherever Mike is at, we chip him, and we run the ball that way. Put a double team on him. And it works. Like everybody's saying, oh, man, we need a DT. We got to stop the run. It's not the DTs. It's not. If the linebackers aren't filling the holes up once the DT is taking up two to three bodies, then it's a linebacker problem, not a DT problem. If they're hitting the edges, it's an edge problem because no one's setting it. So that means your edge players, your nickel corner, and your safeties, they have to fill. If they don't fill, we get gashed every time. Every time. And a lot of teams use misdirection. If we as a defense can be cerebral enough to understand the misdirection, hence why Shotty's using a lot of motion. So that means the defense is practicing against a lot of motion. At some point, they're going to get it. At some point, I don't know if it's going to be week 1 or week 10, but at some point, they're going to get it. They're going to understand motion. They're going to understand misdirection at some point. It may not be today. It might not even be tomorrow. It might be a month from now. But at some point, they're going to get it. And it's going to cause issues for a lot of teams. It really is. You know what I'm saying? I can't say it anymore, man. Like, don't jump from the ledge. It's just preseason. We're evaluating single players. We're evaluating individuals. We are not evaluating this team as a whole, because this team as a whole is not playing in the preseason. We're evaluating individuals. And as long as we have another week of this, and the next Tuesday comes the NFL roster cuts, then you can go out there and try to find someone who can help elevate this team. That is the whole point. That is the whole point of preseason. You're trying to find that one, that two, that three, that four, that fifth player that can elevate a spot on your team. I know we need another DT. I know we could use another corner. I know for a fact we can use another running back. I know for a fact we can. But as of right now, the running backs that we have in our room, some of them aren't bad. Some of them have great vision. Some of them can actually get through those tight lanes that the offensive line opens up. We'll find out what Jadon Blue can do on Friday. We'll find out exactly what Jadon Blue can do on Friday. I understand that he can catch out of the backfield. I understand he's got speed. But do we know what he can do in between the tackles? Do we know how his vision's going to be against other players other than our own? No, we haven't seen it yet. So even then, temper your expectations. Oh, Jadon Blue's going to go out there and run for over 100 in preseason. No, we're not going to do that. Let's not do that. Let's temper our expectations. Okay? We don't know yet. Now, when we get into week one, then you could go ahead and boast and scream to our high heavens. We're going to go smoke the pigeons. I believe wholeheartedly we're going to smoke the pigeons. That does it almost every time. 3-3, 2-1 against Jalen Squirts. I mean, the proof is in the numbers. Here's a crazy stat. Did you know Dak Prescott doesn't throw interceptions in Philadelphia? For some odd reason, that man is stellar in Philadelphia. For some odd reason. And now you're giving him another weapon so that when you free up CD, and now he's free. Now you have as Vic Fangio, you have a business decision to make. Do you want CD to beat you? Do you want George to beat you? Or do you want Jake Ferguson to beat you? Or do you want your third wide receiver to beat you? Or do you want the running backs to beat you? You know what I'm saying? That's a good problem to have. Shotty says we need to be multiple. Thanks for showing up. I appreciate you. You may be one, but shit, one is all I need. I appreciate you. Look at Shotty. He says he wants to be multiple, which means we can get in the I formation and run 15 different sets out of it. We can get in the shotgun and run 15 different sets out of that, and the play just looks the same. That's the point of being multiple. You trip up your defense that way. Even just like they can disguise, so can we. As an offense, we can do the same thing. And vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Our defense can disguise. Their offense can disguise if they want. At that point, it's about scheme, and then you work on the individual. But right now in preseason, it's all about the individual. I'm going to run a vanilla-style offense. I want to see what you guys can do. You know what I'm saying? Can you be successful in a vanilla-style offense when you're just saying, line it up and go? My guy can beat your guy. That's all preseason is. A lot of dudes on this team, I say like a handful and a half, are really making a claim. They're making a really good claim for themselves. They really are. The Zion Childresses, Shamar James, you know what I'm saying? They're really trying to put their best foot forward to make this team. I'm not going to sit here and harp on the fact that we're 0-2 in the preseason. It's just a preseason. If you take the fandom out of it and you put on your analytics hat, you'll understand what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not Perion Winfrey. Perion Winfrey hasn't played in the league in 3 years. say 2 to 3 years. You look at Perion Winfrey, dude playing like he was just playing in the league last year. You know what I'm saying? And he was in the UFL. And for some reason, the Joneses, even though they go to the UFL, the USFL, the XFL, whatever other leagues there are, they happen to find gems. Now, am I saying that Perion Winfrey is going to be that gem that we've been waiting for at DT? Probably not. But who knows? Maybe he is. He showed that he can be a monstrosity. He showed it. You know what I'm saying? Especially if gthe is getting 1% better every day, which he showed. One game, he looks like a rookie. The next game, he looks like he's getting it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really going to focus on Mozzie Smith. Mozzie Smith is going to be exactly what I thought he was going to be, which is a rotational piece. It's going to be a rotational piece. The fact that he was asked to lose weight is what's hurting him. Because the style of play that they want him to play isn't the style of play that he should play. He should have never lost weight. He would still be that trash can full of dirt. And if you pair him and Solomon together, if you pair him and Osa together, him and Perion Winfrey, gthe, you know what I'm saying? If you never asked him to lose weight, the front, the middle of your defense would be crazy. But unfortunately, the Cowboys didn't do him any favors. Dan Quinn did not help. Mike Zimmer did not help. Dan Quinn doesn't like the big bodies. You know what I'm saying? Which is weird because he has Daron Payne, and Daron Payne's like 350. You know what I'm saying? And he's a beast. Mike Zimmer likes big bodies. Now we're on the Eberflus, who wants an attacking front, which means you don't have to be that big in order to attack. You know what I'm saying? But when you want to stop the run, when you want to stop up the middle runs, you need a big trash can full of dirt. You need that. Unfortunately, Mozzie is not that anymore. You know what I'm saying? Does he have an opportunity? Does he have the ability to probably get back to that? Yeah, but maybe elsewhere. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, and I'm big on this, a lot of these guys can't choose where they want to go. When you're getting drafted in the first, second round, when you're getting drafted, period, you have no choice in where you go. And where you may go may not be a scheme fit for you. You may not be scheme friendly for these teams. So then you go make your hay elsewhere. We've seen it. We've seen it. A.J. Brown, Tennessee. A.J. Brown was just a name. He wasn't really doing much. He goes to Philadelphia. Now he's a name. He won a Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Like, not everywhere you go is a scheme fit for you. Let's temper our expectations. You know what I'm saying? gthe, when you're a big body like that, you don't necessarily have to be a scheme fit as long as you understand how to do your job. And I'll say it again. gthe was coming out of UCLA, was more NFL ready at this stage, the rookie stage, than Mozzie was at the rookie stage. You know what I'm saying? He is more NFL ready. I've said it once, I'll say it again. I'm going to bang the table for gthe. I'm going to. You know what I'm saying? Because what I see in that kid is that I'm not going to say Vince Wilfork, that's a bit high, but I'm going to say the vte's, the vte's of the world. You know what I'm saying? Give him like another 10, 15 pounds and with athleticism with it, he's going to be a fucking problem. He's going to be a problem in this league. You know what I'm saying? We already know what vte's can do. We saw him last year, and he was giving us hell. Just him. You know what I'm saying? Just him. So it's not out of the realm of possibilities that these guys can't make their hay. But for the most part, man, I just want to see this team succeed, man. That's all. I just want to see this team succeed and the guys with it. You know what I'm saying? Because these guys, they worked hard to get here. So instead of us as Cowboys fans sitting here ho-hum and blaming this one and that one for not setting the edge and doing the, you got to understand, they're not our starters. These are ancillary pieces, all of them. If they're not an ancillary piece on this team, they're an ancillary piece on another team. I'll say it again. 32 teams on next Tuesday are having full roster cuts. They're not doing it like they used to. Okay, we cut this day, cut 1, cut 2, cut 3. They're not doing that anymore. It's one day, the entire league cuts who they got to cut. And you know the saying, one man's trash is another man's treasure. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't believe me? All right. Take a look at this, right? We had Noah Brown. And Noah Brown wasn't bad for us, but he wasn't the greatest. He wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, caused a few interceptions, getting upturned and fumbling. You know what I'm saying? Like, but he goes to the Texans and he does some things. Then he goes to Washington, and they were in the NFC Championship last year. One man's trash is another man's treasure. Not everybody is a fit for you. Not everybody. Who knows? Ollie Gordon might get cut. And then there's our running back. There's no guarantee that Keemon Hall is going to be your nickel corner. Our nickel corner might be on another team. Our nickel corner might not be here. Our backup QB might not be here. Our backup QB might be in Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? And they have a surplus of quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to sit here and act like the sky is falling because we lost a few games, because we're not seeing the physicality I'm not going to say that we were promised, but because we're not seeing the physicality that was pitched to us yet. Keyword, yet. They are not our starters. Would I like my backups to be as equally as physical as my starters? Hell yeah, because I don't want there to be a drop-off. I don't want there to be a drop-off between my first-string guys and then my second-string guys. No, I don't want there to be a drop-off. I want everybody flying the same way. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want. But who am I? I'm just me. I'm a nobody. It's up to those guys out there to go out there and show them the dog that they have in them. Like I said, man, I want it to be shiesty season. I want this team to go out there angry. I want this team to go out there with a chip on their shoulder. I want this team to go out there with the intent to do bodily harm. Everybody. Everybody. Even if it means Tolbert has to grow a set of balls and actually go out there and hit something. Real talk. Because he's been extremely soft to me. Elijah Clark, after that pop on Saturday, I doubt he's got a spot on this team. That's not showing physicality. The running back that hit him had a lot of physicality, but I don't think Elijah Clark has the physicality that we want. Zion Childress does. Shamar James does. James Houston does, definitely. You know what I'm saying? Like, we see the physicality, just not in everybody. And everybody's not going to make this team. There's some tough decisions to be made. There are some tough decisions to be made. I just hope we're ready for the decisions that are made. I hope we're okay with the decisions that are made. I mean, granted, you have roster cutdowns next week, and then I say November 4th, maybe, you'll have, by November 4th, you'll have the trade deadline. You know what I'm saying? So you'll have like 5 days in order to trade whoever you want to trade to get whoever you want. You know what I'm saying? But who's to say that our roster won't be completely set by then? We may not need to trade anybody. We may enjoy and then on top of that, we still have dudes that aren't here. Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons is suited up. He's not practicing. He hasn't played in the preseason games. We don't know if we'll see him week 1, but there's Micah Parsons. You got Trayvon Diggs, who's going to be coming back from an injury. Savon Revel, hopefully, he'll be coming back from an injury. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got guys. You got guys. We don't know what Javonte Williams is going to be. We don't. We don't even know if Dak is going to be as good as he was in 2023. We don't know. because of that injury. Can we speculate? Yeah, we can speculate all the live long day, but we're not sure. Can this offensive is the growth that we've seen from Tyler Guyton through the offseason, is that going to translate into week 1, week 2? We don't know. Is Nate Thomas going to be able to hold up? Is Tyler Booker going to be every bit of Tyler Booker that we saw Saturday come week 1? We don't know. We don't know. That's a different load of competition. These are the ones. These are the dudes that worked hard. These are the dogs. When you're playing the ones, those are dogs. So you got to be equally as a dog as they are. Shiesty season. Fucking shiesty season. Let's go. Get excited. Be happy for your team. There's teams, there's fan bases of teams who ain't done shit ever. Cleveland, Cincinnati. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's the Texans, like, there's fan bases of teams that ain't done shit since their inception. And these dudes these fan bases are excited. They show up. They root for their boys. They don't disparage anybody. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going. I'm not disparaging nobody. I'm not going to say, oh, well, Mozzie's a bust. Oh, no, he's not. He's not a bust because he does his job as a DT, as a one tech. It may not be to your liking, because if you're expecting a DT, a one tech, if you're expecting a one tech to get you 17 tackles for loss, get it out of your head. If you're expecting him to go out there and get you 5 sacks a year, get it out of your head. Oh, well, it's been done. Yeah, by 3 techs. Osa had 5 sacks last year. Osa had 27 pressures last year. Osa did that because he's a 3 tech. He's more athletic. He's not just a trash can full of dirt. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what we're going to expect. We don't know what to expect out of Solomon Thomas. Solomon Thomas is a 3 tech, 295. Now, if you look at him, if you look at him, that man is a specimen. If you look at him, he looks like he can run through a train, a moving train, head first while it's coming at him. You know what I'm saying? If you're looking at this guy. But who's to say once we get into the regular season, he becomes a shell of himself? Who's to say that the guy on the other side of the field that he's going against ain't better than him? Can't block better than he can rush? Who's to say that? We talk all this, like, everybody talked all this, George Pickens is a crash out. Who's to say he won't crash out? Who's to say he won't? I'll tell you this. I'll take the attitude, though. I want that same attitude going through the entire wide receiver room. I want that same attitude going through the entire O-line. I want my backups to feel like they're better than my ones coming out of preseason. That's what I want. Is it going to happen? Who knows? Who knows? I'll tell you this, though. I'm excited. I'm excited to see. I'm excited to watch. Been a Cowboy for the past 43 years, going on 44 in October. I ain't going to change my stripes. I ain't no zebra, but I ain't going to change my stripes. I'm not going to lay down for nobody. I don't even lay down for Pigeons fans, and I live out here. I live in Pigeon country. You know how much that sucks? I got to hear these dudes talk all the time. You know what I'm saying? Oh, the Cowboys suck. Y'all ain't been in the NFC Championship in 30 years. Yeah, well, in our 30-year inception, in our 30-year drought, you guys only won 2 Super Bowls. How does that make you feel? Y'all still playing catch-up. In the 30 years, we ain't done shit. There's a lot of teams. The Patriots have more Super Bowls than you in our 30 years of not doing shit than y'all do. You can't talk. All I can say to these dudes is line it up. Tell your boys to line it up. I don't care what your scheme is, line it up. We've seen what Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys offense can do to almost any team in the NFL. We've seen it. They will run ruckshot over these dudes without a problem. We've seen CeeDee Lamb torch up secondaries. We've seen Dak go nuclear on secondaries. We've seen it. We've seen it. We've seen Michael Parsons come in and wreck games. We've seen it. We've seen Trayvon Diggs in a full season, 11 picks. We've seen Deron Bland in 2 seasons, 14 picks, 5 in his first as a slot corner, and then 11, and then 9 in his second with 6 pick sixes, setting a record. That says something. I am not worried about my starters. I'm not. So what can we do to elevate this team? I know worrying about preseason wins and losses ain't going to do it. But when you're evaluating these dudes that are on the field, the Maris Leah fouls, because when DeMarvion Overshown went down again, Maris Leah foul came in and was showing his ass, just like he's showing his ass in preseason, just like I guarantee he'll show his ass in the regular season. Now you're adding Shamar James. You got K9. We don't know what he looks like yet. We know what Jack Sanborn looks like, though. Very cerebral. He's one of the smartest linebackers I've seen since Sean Lee. You know what I'm saying? So we're getting pieces to elevate this team. What can we get on this team to push us a little further? Push us a little bit further. And then roster cuts are coming. So what can we find out there to push us a little bit further? Y'all say we need a DT running back in a corner, right? So there's no guarantee that some of these corners that are on other teams, we're going to make that team. But that's not to say that they are trash. That's not to say that they are bums. Because I used to say it. Oh, there they go. They're just picking up our trash when Miami got Cedric Wilson. Unfortunately, Cedric Wilson had no impact on that team. Noah Brown had more impact on the teams that he's been on since the Cowboys than Cedric Wilson. You know what I'm saying? So, Simi Fehoko, when he went over to the Chargers, no impact. We haven't seen him. We haven't seen Simi Fehoko. Jonathan Hankins going over to Seattle. We haven't seen the impact. Now DeMarcus Lawrence over there in Seattle. We'll see. We'll see if he has any impact. But it seems like the players that we have when they leave the Dallas Cowboys, they don't have impact on other teams. They don't. I remember when we let go of DeMarco Murray and he went to the Pigeons. 0 impact. But yet you won a rushing title with the Cowboys. So you just gotta wait and see, man. You just gotta wait and see. We can't sit here as a fan base with our hands over our head, just shaking it like, oh my God, we're 0-2 in the preseason. I don't know what we're gonna do. We're gonna be dumpster fire when it comes to. How do you know? You don't. I don't. I don't know. I can speculate. Again, I can speculate all the live long day. We all can. We can all sit here and be like, well, I mean, CD is still a bright spot, but what do we have after him? We don't have to ask that question anymore. We know what we have after CD, George Pickens. We've seen Ryan Flournoy do the one thing this season in the preseason that no other wide receiver other than CD and maybe George Pickens when he was with Pittsburgh do in the preseason. Get separation. If he had a quarterback to get him the ball properly, he would have scored a couple of touchdowns. We saw him do that last season. On a starting corner. Killed him going into the end zone. So it's not impossible. It's not impossible. We know what we can get out of these dudes. Who can elevate this team? Who can get us just 1% better? Who can get us just that much better to where we're more of a threat? I'm tired of hearing the 3 and 4 letter networks say, "Oh well, they're probably the third best team, chasing Washington." You do realize Washington beat nothing but backups last year, right? You do realize Washington had issues with Cooper Rush, right, and Trey Lance. You do realize that, right? Like, these aren't backups that they're going to be playing this season. Lord willing. Hopefully we don't have to worry about the bug. I'm not even going to say the word, okay? I don't want to have to worry about the bug. So who knows, man? I'm not gonna harp on it too much longer. You know what I'm saying? It's getting around that time where I got to get ready to leave work. So I'll just leave y'all with this, man. Don't get too low. Don't get too low. If you don't want to get too high, fine. Don't. Stay even. Stay even, man. Because like expectation is a killer of joy. Expectation just brings you nothing but misery. I don't expect nothing out of this team but to go out there and compete. Rome got it right. I don't want to compete. I want to contend. To contend means you have an opportunity to go into the Super Bowl. You have an opportunity to go into the NFC Championship. You have an opportunity to make it to the playoffs. I want to contend. I already know these guys can compete. You know what I'm saying? They're in the NFL. But with that being said, it's your boy Hoodie KUSH with the Basement Boys. It's good talking to y'all. I'm glad y'all showed up. However many it was, don't even matter to me. I don't care. Y'all showed up. Y'all came. It's all that matters. You know what I'm saying? I got it off my chest. So let's wait. Let's wait and see what happens Friday. You know what I'm saying? I might go live again sometime this week, maybe Thursday. Who knows? Maybe Thursday before the game. And yeah, we can wait and see what happens Friday, and then roster cut downs come next Tuesday. And until then, I guess we'll just continue to talk about it. Talk about the things we've seen, talk about who we like, who we may not like, who could help elevate this team, who's not going to elevate this team. And yeah, we'll go from there and wait for week 1. So again, it's your boy Hoodie KUSH, the Basement Boys. Get at you.